So introduce yourself.
So it's CURVVY CEO of Drop It Give Me 30 podcast. My first episode.
Okay, and so you said that this is our first episode. What inspired Drop It Give Me 30?
So Drop It Give Me 30, the inspiration was the death of my cousin. She died June, I want to say 11th going to June 12th. I remember that, like hearing my cousin's voice with telling me that she was gone, like yesterday, man.
And so from that, you started an individual journey, and when did that start?
So I'll say the journey started that day when I saw her in a body bag. Like my life flashed before my eyes. It was a scene like from a movie, man. Like I was just like in the time warp. I pictured it being me, and my kids were the ones standing there listening to the corner. And I was just like, oh man, like this could have easily been me. Can't happen.
So, what basically would you say is the foundation, or should I say the mission statement for Drop It Give Me 30?
Worship, workout, and work.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. So I feel like since I turned my life over to God, nothing that I can do is ever possible. Like He gave me the spirit of determination, the spirit of fearlessness. So at that point, I decided to make sure He was the head of my life, and everybody knows it. So you start your day with worship, throughout your day worship, and then the next step is to work out. No excuses every day. You need at least 30 minutes. And then you go to work, whatever that is. And I consider work, parenting, being active in schools, as a parent, whatever. Just work is the ...
So we're talking about work, and you pretty much summed up the worship and the working out, 30 minutes, whatever. And you said work, whatever. When you talk about work, let's talk about exactly who CURVVY CEO is outside of the church and the gym.
CURVVY CEO is a mom of 3. So I got one leaving for college soon. I got one in 9th grade who is an athlete for every season. I got a 7th grader who's in middle school. She's an athlete for every season. So I'm an active parent. I'm at every PTA meeting. I actually work for the school district, so I head the PTA meetings at the school that I work for. And I'm in every, like I said, every game. Sometimes I can make it. I'm at every practice, and I'm the loudest person in the crowd. I'm also a nurse. I was a travel nurse for 2 years. I'm still a travel nurse technically, but while I was battling depression and going through all the things I was going through, I decided that my daughters needed a mother. You know, not saying I never had one, but I knew that I didn't have a mother figure, you know, the type of mother that I wanted to be for my kids, which was present at the smallest things, you know. So I found time to work my schedule around my children. So that's another thing that I put, you know, pride myself in. Like I hear multiple excuses about, oh, I don't have enough time. I don't think people want to make time, you know, and I'm being real because I was a nurse working every shift just to be present in my kids' life. So I stopped going on the road and I'm here.
What else do you do?
I write business plans. I'm a creative director. I produce fashion shows. I was just told I was a life coach. It's so funny, man. But in all actuality, no. I write, like I said, I write business plans. So CURVVY CEO Adventures, I pretty much inspire people. You know, so you sit at the round table with me for CURVVY CEO Adventures. I'm pretty much make you think you can do anything you want to. I'm gonna show you how to do it too.
Okay. So, Drop and Give Me 30 is your what project? Because I know this is not your first.
You mean like it's my number of projects? So this, I'm sure this is like my 5th. I've had home care. I do customer service training for the proven nurse, which we're about to start training nurses who want to sit for their NCLEX as well. I feel like customer service is needed in hospitality and in healthcare. So that's what I do. So yeah, it's like my 5th brainchild. This one very important because I'm a very busy woman and a very active children. So I feel like I'm always hearing parents make an excuse for not being present, you know? So as well as being present for themselves, because as being a nurse, really, the people that you see in the hospitals are the ones that fail to take care of themselves, you know, and they're trying to take care of themselves while they're in a nursing home. So that's really like very important to me. So my health as well. I'll say my journey started in June, and the importance of it is to get the community, hold each other accountable. And if you don't take care of yourself today, the likelihood of you being in a nursing home needing 2+, 3+ people helping you take care of yourself is greater.
So when you talk about the community and hold people accountable, what exactly does that look like? Because you know we can't force anybody to do things they don't want to do. So how do you per se model the way?
So I start off by I'll say this, rewinding back to when I started. This was kind of like a seed that I was just planting to see if it would work, right? So when I started my journey, I led by example. I worked out every day. I went to church, I prayed, I did everything. I led by example. I started and I worked out, and I literally take my journey, right, while I was doing it, and I actually encourage my team for the Curve the Runway. I encourage my team to get on the same journey so that they can surround themselves with positive stuff too. So I was like, look, y'all, we're gonna get ourselves together, mind, body, and soul. And that was the point of me actually starting Drop and Give Me 30. I felt like holding ourselves accountable, people needed that. And if we get 30 people to join and only 7 people actually hold themselves accountable, then we still won.
Okay. So what were some personal things in your journey that like you had to get past? Like that was really hard that you didn't even know like was some of your hurdles or hangups. So sometimes we do have blind spots as people. So what would you say was some of your like hard things to either unlearn, to get past, to get over, etc.?
I honestly think my hardest thing was actually following my vision through. Like when God gave me the vision and actually believing it that it can happen. You know, most of our hangups be realistic. Like you ain't never seen God personally before, so it's like, yeah, okay, God, you really telling me to do this, or is this somebody else? Because you know, if you really don't have that strong faith or have never been shown like what the true power of prayer was, you really don't believe that the higher power is giving somebody a vision. And I'm gonna be honest with you, he gave me that vision and he told me, you know, to clean up my circle. So with me pushing that back on my circle and saying, hey, let's hold each other accountable. Like I need y'all, y'all need me, you know, let's grab on each other, work out, whether it's going somewhere 30 minutes, going live 30 minutes, making sure, checking in to make sure we eat healthy or something, even with as far as your mind. You know, I suffered from depression a long time ago. Well, not even a long time ago, but I suffered from depression. And like I was even telling you that, you know, part of mind, body, and soul, you're a comic. You know, that's comedy is relief. You know, it helps with depression too. So